But honestly, now I'm kind of like, this is going to take forever. And it's a sample piece. Like, do I really want to use my precious time for a sample piece? Like, I'm kind of thinking that maybe I'll stop where I am and then just...
This is day 14 of working on my fashion brand every day for 21 days while juggling a full-time job. Hello there, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Shania and my dream is to have my own fashion boutique. The only trouble is I have a full-time job. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a trouble at all. I'm very thankful for this full-time job. However, it becomes difficult to actually make progress with my fashion boutique because of this job. So I set up a mini challenge for myself to see what would happen if I work on my boutique every day for just 1 hour, 21 days. What can I accomplish in this time span? Join me on the journey to see what happens. So for today, I'm working in the morning before going to work. I literally have about 1 hour before I have to leave the house. So my top 3 goals are to work on the corset skirt. I'm hoping to make the string that will go through the actual eyelets at the back of the skirt. I'm also hoping to do some research for clothing tags because I think I may need another type of tag to add to my garments. So TBD. And then my third goal is to work on the thumbnail for what will be the first episode of this whole series. I'm not sure that I'll get it all done before I go to work, so I may need to pick up when I come back from work, but we'll see. All right, let's go. So here I am just working on the thumbnail for episode 1. And while I do that, I wanted to answer a question that I got from you about how I plan my day. And truthfully, I am not the best at planning my day, but something that I've been experimenting with specifically for the weekends where I have like full days is with time blocking. So when I wake up in the morning, I start by just kind of listing out the things that I want to get done, the things that I need and I want to get done, and then I just kind of block them into my calendar. So for example, maybe for 1 hour I'll do a video editing session, and then another hour I'll do sewing, and then another hour I'll have a lunch break, and so forth. And I just do it until my day is full. And this is just an example of like what that looks like. I hope this helps, and thank you for asking, and let me know if you have any other questions. For this next session, I am going to work on the labels and just doing some research to see what I can find for like what I need to include, because I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm trying to get locked up. Not for real though. Like if I'm gonna do this business, I want to make sure that I'm doing it legally. So I'm going to look up what I need for those tags. As much as I can control it, I'm going to try to inform myself of like the regulations. So yeah, let's do it. I used ChatGPT to get information on the tag requirements that I would need for my garments. And basically what prompted me to look into the requirements was one day I was in my closet and I was just going through some clothes and I noticed that almost all of my clothes had an RN number on the tags. So I wanted to just check to see if that was something that I would need as well. And some of the questions that I asked ChatGPT were, what is an RN number? How do I get one? If I want to sell a garment that I upcycled, can I put my own branding on it? What if I'm not sure about what my care instructions should be? Is there a general format that I could use for my care instructions? Are there requirements for what absolutely needs to be included in the care instructions? And etc. Okay, so that was a pretty productive second session. I actually learned a lot about labels. One thing I did learn is that I don't need an RN number. Hooray! So fun fact, an RN number is basically like a short way of classifying your business. in the event that you don't want to put the name of your business on there. As long as you are listing the name of your business within your tag, you don't need an RN number. For me, I want my name on everything. I want Run Behavior on everything. So the only thing now that I need to figure out is like, what are the fabric specs for the pieces that I've made completely from scratch? And so I think I'm going to try to figure that out by going online to find the fabric that I used and see if they have it listed on the website. And I don't think that I'm gonna start sewing those labels that I pinned to the garments yet, because I'd rather just put everything together and sew it at once instead of having to like go back and you know? Yeah. And then I think in terms of upcycling things, I think what I'm gonna have to do is find a way to keep the tags for whatever I upcycle. I actually have like 10 minutes, so I'm going to use that 10 minutes to actually like put my shoes on, do a final check on my face, and then leave because I don't want to be late for work. But I will pick up the third session when I come back, God willingly. So I'll see you in some hours later.
Much later.
Hi. So excuse the camera quality. I actually am on my computer camera and you know how that goes. But I'm finally back from work. I'm settled in and ready to finish out my last work session. So the plan for the final work session is to work on the strings for my corset skirt. 2 days ago I did a thing. I was so bothered by that white stitch that was showing on the lining. The only trouble is that when I stitched the corset panel down, it left me with these stitches here. I don't mind those stitches, but I do mind the fact that the color is not blending with the lining. So I'm kind of like a little annoyed by that. Annoying. Maybe at the end, once I finish sewing it, I'll probably just do another row of stitches on the other side to just kind of make it look intentional. I was like, oh, let me just take it out, and it's probably gonna be okay because, like, you know, everything's in place. So when I take these stitches out, it probably won't even like affect anything because whatever it was on is probably already locked in. Not true. Because as soon as I took those stitches out, the whole corset panel came out. So I kind of set myself back. But I figured that if I just kind of change focus and just work on the strings for the corset, it'll actually make me feel like I'm making progress. And then once the strings are done, or the string is done, then I'll go back to fixing the corset panel and then adding the underwire. Aside from fixing the panel, I really just have 2 major steps, and the major steps are the string and the underwire casing, and that's it. So I'm in a pretty good position. Anyways, come on, let's go.
I think all in all, my overall dream is that anyone who purchases my clothing, when they wear it, that they'll feel a sense of confidence and a sense of empowerment. I really hope to target the girlies who normally are shy, who normally overthink things, who normally dim their light, but whenever they wear something that they feel cute in or sexy in or, you know, eclectic in, it's almost like that clothing, that garment is their superpower that transforms them into the person that they aren't normally because of whatever thoughts and emotions that they have. So all in all, I really just hope that my clothing will inspire women to be their most unfiltered, confident, bold, daring self.
Okay, so I hope this picks up the sound because I don't have my mic hooked up right now. But the last session was pretty productive. I managed to finish sewing the string. I just have to flip it inside out and then I'll be done with it. Actually, let me show you. So I just have to like trim it and then flip it inside out and I'll be done with the string. So yeah, it's been a pretty like productive day, I would say. If you have a fashion brand of your own, leave a star emoji. Let me know the name of your brand so that we can all check it out. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. Until next time.